Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm going to re-record this because my last video I rambled so much and the video was just so much longer than it had to be. But if you are new to my channel, then welcome, and then if you are not, then welcome back, and I'm very happy for you guys to be here with me. For today's video, I'm going to be giving you some tips and tricks for me personally of things that are helpful with me in dealing with my anxiety and my panic disorder. So I'm not going to waste any more of your time. Let's jump on in. I'm going to try to keep this as short as possible because I have a list of things. But let's go ahead and jump on in. One thing that helps me a lot is having a close family member or friend to kind of vent to whenever I am having anxiety. It's just really nice to know that there's another person on the other end of the phone that cares about you and doesn't want you to feel these kind of anxious and panicky kind of feelings. And for me personally, that's just very helpful. Usually I call my dad or my sister. They've had some struggles with anxiety themselves, so they're very understanding. And then another thing is it can take my mind away from my anxiety. Because a lot of the times with my anxiety and my panic disorder, it can be a little irrational, and I'm having a million thoughts run through my mind a minute. So I usually will call one of them. My sister starts like going on and on about how many loads of laundry she has, and it almost puts me to sleep. So it's helpful for me. So sister, thank you for your boring conversations. And I love you. But anyway, another thing that is helpful to me is some like sensory type things. One thing is peppermint oil or gum. I always have gum with me, but I really like the smell of peppermint. It has just been very good for me. So if I'm in the middle of having some anxiety or panic, I usually will go ahead and pop a piece of gum in my mouth. And it's just the chewing, and it just kind of makes me think, okay, maybe I'm not in such a bad situation. And then just the smell, like, just I feel like it opens up my chest too, and that just might be a mental thing, but for me it just kind of opens up my chest and I can breathe a little bit better when I have some peppermint around. Another thing is water. I always have bottled water. If I do not have bottled water, I will go and get bottled water, or any kind of water bottle in general. I usually just reuse them and fill them and fill them and fill them. But I always have water with me no matter where I go. A lot of the times with my panic, my mouth tends to get a little bit dry, and I feel sometimes like that I'm choking. So just having that water to kind of go down and cool my throat and bring me back a little bit to reality. Another thing that I really like is ice packs. And this is another sensory type thing. But I really like ice packs because I usually will put them, like go to the freezer and put one like behind my head, because I tend to get some tension or headaches whenever I'm having anxiety. And just the coolness really kind of grounds me, and brings me back down to reality. And that has been so nice for me. Honestly, I discovered using ice packs and I've never looked back, and I love them. Another thing that I do is I cut out caffeine completely out of my life as much as I can. I stopped drinking caffeine probably about 9 or 10 years ago, and I'm so glad that I did. Just for me personally, and I know some people are like caffeine, like coffee, like I love it, and I like coffee, but I usually do like a decaffeinated or something, or I'll drink like decaffeinated tea. And so I try to cut out caffeine as much as I can, just because the way caffeine affects the body, you know, it kind of makes your heart beat a little bit faster, maybe makes your mind go a little bit, and just makes you kind of have that little anxious or that adrenaline kind of feeling. For me personally, that just mimics too closely to a panic attack. So when I do have any kind of caffeine, it can almost trigger a panic attack. So I just cut that out completely, and I drink a lot of water, which is honestly better for you. I'm sorry for all you like caffeine-aholics out there, but water's better for you. But I just really am glad that I've done that, and I think that just overall it helps me, you know, be overall healthier. Another thing is something that I got for Christmas, and I'm so glad I did, but it is an anxiety blanket or a weighted blanket, whichever one you want to call it, and my boyfriend got this for me for Christmas, and it has been so helpful, especially at nighttime. If you have anxiety and it kind of affects your sleeping, this is really, really good for you. I think mine weighs about 16 pounds, and it's just so nice, and it has helped me sleep so hard. I've got some really great sleep when using it, and it's not hot. I was thinking, okay, a weighted blanket has to be really hot and almost kind of smothery, but it is not. It is perfect, and it's very cooling too, and I'm so thankful that I got it. So thank you so much for getting that for me, and I use it every single night now. And another thing that I do is I got an adult coloring book, and I'll show you. My sister got this for me, and I know you can't really see it, but it's like Color Me to Sleep. My sister got this for me for my birthday, I think 2 years ago, and it is just really relaxing, especially at bedtime when you're just kind of trying to unwind and, you know, kind of bring your thought process, you know, down and just really get a good night's sleep. When she got me this, I was kind of like, oh, I don't really know. Like, I'm not a very creative person anyway, but I just didn't really think that I would use it, and I use it all the time. And here's like some of the pictures, if you can see it, that it looks like. And there's just a lot of like, you know, like those little doodads. I don't know what they're called, but people draw them all the time and they look awesome. So I color them when I can. And there's some pictures that I have already colored, but I'm not a very good colorer, so I'm not going to show you this. But this has been so helpful for me. And then I got another one for Christmas. My dad got me one. And it really does just kind of bring you back to reality. So thank you, sister, for getting this for me, because it has been very helpful. Another thing that I like to do is put on my happy movies. And if you know me very well, you know what my happy movies are. That just means a movie that I have seen or a TV show that I've seen a gazillion times that just puts me in an instant good mood, and I love watching them. A few of mine have been that 70s show. I love that show. I've seen it a gazillion times, but I watch it almost every single day. Friends has been really good. I kind of started watching Friends on like all the time a few months ago, and I really watch these every single day before I go to bed. Another, as far as the movies goes, I love Mean Girls. Who doesn't? I love that movie. Mean Girls, and then Princess Diaries 1 and 2, or really anything like cute, like Ella Enchanted or anything like that with Anne Hathaway. I love. It's just so calming. It brings me back down and just relaxes me overall, and I really enjoy those. So another thing is, if possible, I try to remove myself from the situation. So if I'm in a room with a lot of people and I'm feeling a little bit claustrophobic, I will try to just go outside and get some fresh air. That's just been very helpful, if possible. To just kind of get some fresh air, just remove myself from the situation that is making me a little bit uncomfortable and kind of triggering some anxiety. A really big thing with me now that I have been doing is a meditation. And when I first thought about doing meditation, I was like, there's no way that I really want to do meditation, because there's no way that just sitting there and closing my eyes and that's really about it, that's going to help me with my anxiety. But I try to do it as much as I can, usually in the mornings. At nighttime, I do it if I'm just trying to unwind. And it has been so helpful. Just like 10 minutes. I do it for like 10 minutes a day. And just that 10 minutes of where I'm trying so hard to just clear my thoughts has been very helpful for me. And it just starts my day off on a good note. I downloaded the app Headspace, and I really, really like it a lot. Because the guy's voice is just very calming, and I like his little accent. But I think like some of them are free, and then, you know, if you want some more, then it's, I think, $9.99 a month. But if you don't want to pay for it, which is completely understandable, you can also go on like YouTube, and there's some guided meditation there. Or a lot of the times I will just go to like my Apple Music and type in like meditation music and sit there and just work through it with myself. But the guided ones are really helpful because it kind of leads you into helping you develop your breathing and help you clear your mind, and it gives you something kind of more to concentrate on. So I definitely recommend that. Another thing that I do is I try to be very honest and tell other people about my anxiety. And that's one thing that I kind of joke about, but upon meeting a lot of new people, I'm like, oh, hi, my name's Kendra, and I have anxiety and I have panic disorder, and and it might not be like to that extreme, but for a really long time, I was very, very embarrassed about my anxiety and my panic disorder, and I just did not want to tell anybody. But it has been so helpful, just because whenever I am in like an uncomfortable situation or I am having some anxiety, it just has been so nice to just turn to whoever I'm with or whatever and be like, hey, I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed. Can you help me and talk me through this? Or I'm going to go outside and get some air. And that way they're just aware of how you're feeling. And it just has been so helpful, because one thing for me is I'm like, oh, I just don't want people to think that I'm like flaky or that I'm just, not interested in anything, because that is not the case at all. So just telling people, hey, this is what I go through, and I want you to understand, and this is why I do things the way that I do it, has been so helpful. So any kind of new friendship or relationship that I have, I usually kind of start, at least usually the first like week or so, if I really see like a friendship or something developing, I go ahead and tell them, because I want to be like, hey, this is a part of who I am, and this is who I am, and hopefully we can get through it together. And I've not really, I don't want to say ever had a negative experience with it, but for the most part, the people that want to stay and really truly want to help you are very understanding, and they stay, and it's awesome. Those are the type of people that you want in your life. Another thing is having some kind of therapist, especially if you're really struggling a lot with anxiety and panic disorder. It's just very nice to have somebody tell you from like a scientific or like medical point of view, like, hey, this is what your body is going through, and this might be why. If you have anxiety and you've talked to somebody before, you've probably heard of the fight or flight, I guess, kind of theory or method. And that just means that whenever you're in a panic attack, your body goes into like a defense mechanism, and you either fight or you flight, kind of run away. So that is just something, if you do have anxiety, definitely look it up on. It has just helped me a lot, because it has really gone into depth about, kind of what your body goes through and what kind of, it's experiencing at that time. And I know, like, if you're having a panic attack, one of the things with me is I'm like, I'm never going to come down from this. I'm going to be in this panicky state forever. And that's just not true. And I have to tell myself that every single time I have a panic attack, like, I'm eventually going to come down. And it just has helped me a lot, just knowing that, like, this is a medically, you know what I'm trying to say, what I am going through, and this is why. And then last but not least, I want to talk to you guys about medication when necessary. I feel like there's like this big like stereotype, like taboo kind of conversation around medication. And I know that there has been times that has really helped me. And I think that getting on the right medication is very important as well, because not all medications are going to work for every single body the exact same way. Like, that just doesn't work that's just with anything, because we are all different. But it has helped me a lot, especially at times that maybe my anxiety has been worse than others. So talk to your doctor if you are having a lot of anxiety. And it's just kind of really disrupting your overall, life. Like, it's really making disruptions. That's when I decided, like, hey, I need to maybe talk to my doctor, because I'm not able to do like everyday tasks because my anxiety is so overwhelming. So I think that that's a good time, like, or even before you get to that point. But if not, and you just really don't want to be on a medication, which is really understandable, then just try some of my other tips and see if that helps you, because like I said, it has helped me a lot, and just coping with it in general. But that is all that I have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sorry that this video was so long, but I tried to make it as short as I could. But if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and then don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be talking about some other different things too, as I want to really talk about mental illness, and this is going to be like my main spectrum. But you'll probably also hear about me talking about my favorite kind of books, or like I like makeup and stuff like that. So if you get a wide variety of stuff. This is just how I live my life, and that's it. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Also in the comments, maybe leave some of your kind of tips and tricks that you do that is, you know, helpful to you whenever you're having some anxiety or, you know, a panic or anything like that, because I am more than willing to listen to those. I am more than willing to take some advice and just kind of develop on my coping skills. But thank you guys so much. I hope to see you all soon, and if these do help you, please let me know. But thank you guys, and I will see you later. Bye.